Hi guys. First and foremost, thank you so much for availing yourself to be a facilitator for the upcoming My Spiritual Family. I just thought I wanted to create this video just to give you a briefing of what to expect, what is required for you to do for the upcoming My Spiritual Family. So as a facilitator, generally you are there to help make sure that the participants are not lost, help to facilitate conversations and things like that. And generally, we will put you in groups of 4 to 6. We try to keep it small. Maximum you will get is 6 packs, but the minimum also is 4, so 4 to 6. So what will happen is when you enter the hall, you'll be assigned a pre-assigned group to facilitate, which I will put the details in the group chat later on. For you, it's an assigned seat, but for the participants or everyone else, it's going to be free seating. In every of the group, you will see that one seat, I will be putting all the materials that is required for the event on that chair, and that chair is actually your chair. So on that chair, you will see a booklet, My Spiritual Family booklet. You will have name tags and you will have some pen. Okay, so please distribute the booklets to each of the participants in your group. Each person will get one book, and then you can start like a mini icebreaker of getting to know the people in your group, and you can start writing their names on the name tag and get them to place the name tag on their t-shirt or wherever, so that it's also easy for you to remember their names, right? Yeah. So we'll start with lunch first. So lunch is very free and easy. You're just getting to know each other, fellowship and things like that. And then by 1:15, we should officially start with an icebreaker. So someone will lead the icebreaker, and you are just there to help with anyone who seems a little bit lost, or if they're a little bit quiet, just get them to speak up or something like that, get their opinion or whatever not. Okay. So after the icebreaker, that's where pastor would go up and start the first session. And then he would share about the session lah, okay? So after each session, there will be a talk it out session where there'll be discussion questions where in groups, you are supposed to like talk with your group mates, or yeah, basically to discuss the questions that's on the screen lah. So as a facilitator, your role is to make sure that to facilitate the discussion, to make sure that everyone has voiced out, like the quieter ones, you try to get them to share a little bit more. But also the other role for you is to be the eyes and the ears for the church. So for example, if someone were to share something that you feel like, it could be a good feedback on how we can improve, then yeah, you could share it with in this group chat or with the pastors, so that we get to listen to the heartbeat of what's going on the ground as well as people, as participants basically. Yeah. Uh, what else? So I think, for example, sometimes people might come with feedback like, or it can be good feedback, it can be things for improvement, or it can also be like, oh, I really feel like this church is very relational, these things are very good. These kind of things you can also feedback to the church so that we know what we are doing great or what are the things that we need to improve. Okay, so after the first talk it out session, then there'll be a session 2, another pastor will go up, and after session 2 also there will be the same thing, a talk it out session. Again, the questions, I will put it in the group chat so that you can familiarize yourself with the questions and also know what it's all about. Okay, so that will go on. And then after that, there'll be a third session. And then, okay, so the last part where I would need all of your help is we'll be doing this activity. Is basically to get the participants to be part of the spiritual family and to build this spiritual family together. So there will be a slide like this being shown. Let me just share my screen. Hold on. Okay, it will be here. All right, so this is the slide where the ending part has a little bit more admin and facilitation work required. So here is where we would get people to, jump in, serve. And so they'll be required to or rather not required, encouraged to scan the QR code. And inside the QR code, they'll be able to see what are the different areas in which we would require some volunteer help. And they could go in and explore. They don't have to fill it up on the spot. Of course, if they do, it's great. But sometimes they may have questions or anything, which you can also highlight in the group. If anyone has questions that you feel like you cannot answer, you can just post it in the group. Someone inside there will answer you. Or sometimes even if you yourself are also serving in that ministry, then you can also share a little bit what that ministry is about lah. But basically, this is the QR code that will lead to all the areas in our church where we require volunteer help. This is just another version of the previous one. This one just lists out everything to see on one screen. Okay, so here is where I need you to pay extra attention. So this one, Pastor will be leading this session. These are just an example, okay? They do not need to write exactly this sentence, but we try to give an example just in case they can't think of anything, they have something to refer to. So these are the tiles that we will be giving to each participant. They only need to fill in one box, okay? They can choose either devotion, discipleship, unity, or generosity. They do not need to take all four, okay? They don't need to write all four in one small tile or all four in each of these individual tile. No need. Just one single tile, one area that they want to build together with us, okay? Okay, I'm going to stop share for a while. So this is what the tile looks like. Okay, you might get you know what? Let me just remove my virtual background. So you might get a clean tile like this, or you might get one that's already been written on, something like this or this, because we have been running this for a few years already, and every time it's a continuity, right? So what I need you to do is just get them to write on one tile and make sure that everything is in the same direction. We don't want some to be like writing this way, then some this way or this way. We want, if it's like this, everything should be facing like that. So if this person were to write, it should be like this. Okay? Of course, if you get a clean sheet, then of course, you can start lah, whatever. But as long as that person start, if it's like this or like this, the rest would need to follow in that same direction. Okay, what you need to do is you get them to remove, there's a protective film here, it's so that to protect the tiles. So remove that first before you get them to write. The pens will be given. I would encourage you to get them to use the fine tip. So this is a dual tip pen. You get them to use the fine tip. This one is more fine, this one is a little bit thicker. Get them to use the fine one. Because it smudges. So it's best to use the fine one so that when it smudges, it's just bold text. Okay, so don't worry. The slide of the example sentence that we want them to write will be projected on the screen. You just need to make sure that they write it in the same direction and make sure that all these things is clear out, the small little things, okay? Yeah. And only fill up one, yeah? One person, one tile. So if like this, it's 4 people filling up on this. But of course, I will give you more than just one so that the process will be faster. Okay, so once you're done with this activity, I probably just need you guys to take a selfie, a group photo. This one actually can be done anytime throughout the session. If there's a toilet break or if it's during lunchtime, you can always just take a selfie first, just so that we can create like this sense of, ooh, wow, this picture together, right? But also it's more for us to somewhat attendance-wise, so that we know who attended or who was in whose group, that sort of thing. So you can take a selfie, and then the pastor on stage who's doing the closing would then get them to do a feedback form. So while they scan and doing the feedback form, you as a facilitator would need to get the t-shirt size of each member in your group. And then you just have to write it down, or you can even text it in the group or the sizes that you need. And the coordinator who is helping out will pack the t-shirts for you. And then you just have to go and collect it from the coordinator, one set, and then you just distribute it to each of your members. So each of your members are required to wear the t-shirt because we're going to take a group photo and we want everyone to be wearing the same added t-shirt while we take that group photo lah. Yeah. So that's all that you need to do. We will just end, should be around 3:15, 3:30 like that, and the session will be over. So if you have any questions after going through this briefing, feel free to just text in the group and I'll be there to answer any of your questions, all right? Okay, thank you so much and I will see you